Echo Point Nova. Let's kick things off with the new kid on the block. Echo Point Nova is a first-person shooter set in an open world that gives you insane freedom and speed. It's this wild blend of crazy fast arena shooter pace, seamless traversal, and smoothness like the best optimized games out there. The speed ramps up like crazy, but it doesn't demand super advanced movement skills. It's basically one giant puzzle sandbox, where your main goal is navigating routes from point A to point B. Sounds simple, right? But the devs somehow made it incredibly fun and genuinely interesting. All this comes with a killer soundtrack and absolutely unreal movement. It's pure, indescribable bliss when you're flying across the map at 240 kilometers per hour, boosting yourself using local abilities and a grappling hook. And again, all in an open world. You're not just moving, you're practically flowing across these arenas. You feel your progress too. You unlock new weapons, because yeah, we gotta shoot stuff too. New abilities. Like 10 minutes ago, you were using a jump just to dodge, but now you're weaving it into your attacks because you unlocked an explosion after the jump skill. Honestly, it's a masterpiece. Seriously. Neon White. Okay, this next one is different, but kinda similar, actually. Honestly, pinning Neon White down to one specific genre is tough, because it mashes up elements from several totally different ones. But at its core, it's really about speedrunning timed dashes through tons of unique levels. Your job in these levels is to take out demons using soul cards, which basically act like guns, everything from pistols to rocket launchers. But here's the twist with these cards. Except for your starter katana, you can discard each one to pull off some crazy stunt. Like discarding a pistol card lets you do an extra jump midair. This mechanic creates such insane flow on the levels that you start literally flying through them, constantly juggling cards in your hand, grabbing new ones from dead demons or chests. After finishing each level, you get one of 4 medals based on how fast you were, and each one unlocks something new for you. Maybe you find a collectible, or maybe you get a hint showing you how to shave off a shortcut for an even faster run next time. So replayability is totally solid, even before you consider the special challenge levels that unlock after beating the game. And the whole thing is topped off with a story and really nice visuals. Dave the Diver. Another absolute banger, Dave the Diver. You play as Dave, just a regular dude with a good heart and seriously impressive lung capacity. By day, he dives for fish. By night, he hustles at a sushi bar. Sounds simple, right? Catch fish, serve food. But underneath that lies a massive pile of mechanics, activities, and just unexpected fun. The diving is this incredibly chill exploration. At first, you're cautious, dodging sharks, watching your oxygen, but soon you feel like the king of the underwater world. You grab anything that moves, haul out tons of fish, upgrade your gear, hire staff for the bar, and unlock new recipes. There are literally a billion mechanics, but they never feel overwhelming. On the contrary, this game is full of surprises. You just want to keep going to see what it throws at you next. Oh, and the attention to detail. Even the cat hanging out in the bar turns into this small, sweet, almost touching little story. That's how it is with everything. Honestly, it's a true masterpiece packed with content. Stardew Valley. You get that exact same amazing feeling from another pixel art game, Stardew Valley. I promise. By the way, that's the last pixel art game in this list. Getting them all done at once. Honestly, I don't even know if I need to tell you guys much about this one. But just in case there's anyone who's never played it, well, you're basically a farmer here in every sense of the word. You give gifts to the local characters, gems, food, whatever they like. And what do they send you back? A dead battery, something covered in dirt, or maybe sticks and stones. You open a free resort on a deserted island, fix up the community center, and then they complain you're not contributing enough. It's the true survival story of dealing with users. Honestly, the only sane person might be the homeless guy living in a tent, and it's definitely not you. Because in Stardew Valley, you've been entrusted with restoring the whole valley, an entire town. That means building, digging, mining, fishing, fending off monsters, and yes, maybe even trying to romance the locals. Or did someone seriously think it would be the other way around? Trying to romance the monsters and fend off the locals? Don't make me laugh. Euro Truck Simulator 2. Oh, you Scandinavian truckers, I envy you. That feeling of stepping out of your real truck cab and sitting down in a virtual one in ETS is just unmatched. Sure, some folks might be like, huh, big rigs. Seriously, but Euro Truck Simulator 2 is legit amazing. 665,000 reviews sitting at 97% positive. Isn't that incredible? And get this, the game is, hold on, 13 years old. Not every truck lasts that long on the road, but this game sure has. You get to haul cargo, build your own trucking empire, take out loans, and hire drivers. It's not just a driving sim, it's also a business strategy game. Honestly, the traffic fines can be a bit annoying, especially when it's not even your fault. The multiplayer adds this whole layer of a living world. You see actual other players, chat with them, form these, sometimes questionable convoys. It's basically a virtual trucker brotherhood. Oh, and the map. Here. Every single country, and there are so many, is packed with detail. Germany's autobahns, Italy's narrow streets, Iceland's snowy roads. Talking about it makes me want to jump back in right now. Hi-Fi Rush. Personally, I lean towards something with a bit more pep. Like the awesome Hi-Fi Rush. Well, okay, it's not brand new, it's about 2 years old, but next to the truckers, it's practically a toddler. Sadly, the folks who made this masterpiece aren't really walking anymore. Not like that. I mean, the corporate overlords shut down the studio that created it. Total bummer. So you play as this kid named Chai. Dude gets this super handy metal arm and a music player shoved into his chest, which means everything around him pulses to the beat. Chai has to take down this corporate board represented by 6 bosses, picking up some unlikely allies along the way. It's basically the dev studio's story versus the megacorp, right? Hi-Fi Rush mashes up slash-em-up combat, with all its combos, dodges, juggles, and chaining hits, with rhythm game mechanics where you gotta time your moves to the music. Sounds kinda complex, I know, but after a few levels, it clicks, and you start really feeling the nuances of the combat system. Plus, it's super welcoming whether you're new to rhythm games or slash-em-ups. You get stylish graphics, some platforming, a fun story, and best of all, these incredibly juicy boss fights. Pure adrenaline rush taking them down. Crime Scene Simulator. Weirdly enough, a cleanup sim has a better rating than The Witcher. What universe is this, right? Okay, full disclosure, this cleaner's a bit specialized. Not sick himself, but he cleans up crime scenes. His daughter, though, yeah, she's seriously ill. Needs complicated, expensive treatment and constant doctor care. Unfortunately, a school janitor's paycheck just wasn't cutting it for her recovery. So, after some tough life choices and, not exactly complex math, our guy decides to become a criminal scene cleaner. That's pretty much the whole setup. Thanks for that, I guess. But the gameplay? Weirdly addictive. You're just calmly cleaning, putting stuff back, cursing that bucket you keep knocking over for the 10th time, and suddenly 2 hours have vanished. Where'd they go? I love the feature where you add cleaning supplies that make the job easier. Seriously, a lifesaver later on. You gotta use those supplies smartly, though not just scrub everything raw. Gotta use your brain, right? And get this, there's a full skill tree. You can carry more tools, upgrade them, make cleaning supplies infinite, buy a ladder or an axe just in case, tons of stuff. Seriously, this thing is surprisingly deep. BeamNG.drive. I avoided BeamNG.drive for the longest time. Why? How should I know? Saw cars in a game, kept walking. Racing still ain't my jam. Staying true to my tastes here. Carbon fiber holds a special place in my heart, sure, but the rest? Meh. But this thing, it's genuinely unique. Basically, it's a simulator with physics so realistic. It feels like you're running crash tests on an actual proving ground. The physics turn every single crash into abstract art. And with dozens of cars and mods, you can build your dream vehicle. just to spectacularly wreck it moments later. So yeah, it's a sandbox paradise if you love cars, experiments, and pure freedom. Ever wanted to yeet a truck off a cliff, or build some weird car dinosaur abomination? This is your perfect game. Plus, the way things deform and crumple into metal spaghetti. Way juicier than in Beam Breakfast, or even the old reliable Flatout. Subnautica. Okay, I don't know if you guys heard the news, but Subnautica is officially out on mobile. So now, gaming on the go just got a whole lot deeper. Seriously, if you follow my channel, GameLike, you probably already know this. And if you don't, well, why the heck not? That's where I share leaks, major announcements, and all the coolest stuff happening in the gaming world. You should totally fix that. Check the link in the description. Honestly, I'm not surprised they brought this legendary game to phones. It's been out for years, but it still feels absolutely amazing. It's this stunning underwater adventure game with a massive open world. You explore an ocean planet, gather resources, craft tools and vehicles, and yeah, you can even build bases on the seafloor or the surface, wherever you like. The game is packed with danger and mysteries you need to uncover. The incredible graphics and atmosphere make it truly unforgettable. It's a masterpiece, plain and simple. Now we're just waiting for the full second installment. Fingers crossed the developers don't mess it up. Satisfactory. Here's another masterpiece where your main quest is basically to build factories forever, with a little exploring and production thrown in. This game is like a three-dimensional factory builder. Think big open world, 3D, with really interesting gameplay mechanics. Unlike Factorio, resources here are infinite, so you won't necessarily have to weave this giant spiderweb of railways everywhere, though you might still end up doing that. The research system is also totally different. Instead of science packs, you have this massive space elevator that demands huge amounts of components you've previously unlocked. There is hostile wildlife, but it's pretty rare and honestly not a major threat. Going back to the railway spiderweb idea, some resources are just super far apart, and running conveyor belts all the way back to your base seems kind of impractical. You'll also find crashed pods around the map containing hard drives. Decrypting these lets you unlock alternative recipes for crafting certain components. All in all, it's an automation masterpiece with tons of content. If you haven't played it, you should really give it a try. It's seriously addictive. Chants of Sennaar. Chants of Sennaar is a fantastic, but less widely known, puzzle game. It's inspired by the biblical story of the Tower of Babel, where God created different languages so people couldn't understand each other and finish the tower. My main job in this game is deciphering the languages of different peoples, helping them, and building connections between them. Imagine meeting a stranger who says a few words. It's easy to guess the first word might be something like hello, good day, or greetings. Then they point at a door and say something else. Well, again, it seems obvious that one of their words means door. Of course, some languages might not put nouns first or have different grammar rules, so I don't always guess right immediately. That's where the real challenge and fun comes in. Plus, it has this unique desert-like style. And overall, the graphics and atmosphere are really pleasant. If you love brain teasers, you should definitely check this one out. Slay the Spire. Now, the legendary Slay the Spire. A sequel is still in the works, but trust me, the first one is absolutely incredible. It's no surprise it practically became the godfather of deck-building roguelikes. The turn-based combat revolves entirely around a deck of cards. I spend the whole game building my deck, kind of like in Hearthstone. I upgrade cards, buy them, exchange them, and even remove them. Things get tricky because of randomness. The merchant doesn't always have what I need, and even boss rewards can be unpredictable. So I have to figure out my deck strategy on the fly, based on whatever cards drop. The second big part of the game is relics. I find relics, buy them, or trade for them in random encounters. Which relics I get determines a good 50% of my overall build. For example, if I'm playing as the Ironclad and find a relic that gives bonus strength, that's a sign I should look for cards that add more strength, maybe even double it, seriously boosting my damage, plus cards that hit all enemies at once. Like I mentioned earlier, the combat is broken up by random events, which are heavily influenced by luck. I might get offered a chance to upgrade all my basic attack and defense cards, or trade 30% of my max health for vampire powers, swap artifacts, buy a potion, and so on. This adds great atmosphere and gives me a breather from tough fights. Add in several different characters, lots of bosses and mini-bosses, and a ton of potential builds overall, and you get a game that can easily last hundreds of hours. Literally hundreds. Stray. If spending that many hours on a game isn't your thing, and you just want a good adventure, how about a cat? Stray from 2022. Wow, 3 years have already passed since it came out, but it feels like just yesterday. It's a post-apocalyptic world where humans are all gone. My main character, a little ginger cat, survives a fall and ends up in an underground city. I first find a little drone named Beatwelve, and then together, we discover a whole settlement of robots who have been isolated for a very long time. These robots have their own interests, their own routines, and a strict set of rules and laws. Break them, and punishment follows. But my furry hero isn't timid, so together with Beatwelve, we start down a path of rebellion. To uncover the secrets of this place, I travel through different areas, solve not-too-hard puzzles, and optionally help the city's residents. The cat interacts with objects, but in his own special way. Sometimes I need his sharp claws to break something. Other times it's his paws, so skilled at knocking objects off ledges. The game also has enemies, so there are a few chase scenes. But really, the heart of the gameplay is exploration, and that's not a bad thing. Where else can you wander across the rooftops of a neon city as such an adorable little hero, who was just licking his paws clean moments before? Dead Cells. Okay, let's talk Dead Cells. This game, it's a wild ride. It throws everything at you: frustration, those aha moments, serious head scratchers, and yeah, a little bit of pure agony. You play as well, not exactly a guy. More like a weird green goo that takes over some poor schmuck's body in a sewer. Head. Nope. Just sentient goo keeping things moving. You meet characters along the way. Can't talk. No problem. Your character communicates purely through gestures and expressions, and honestly, they nail it. This silent interaction is actually key. It's how you unlock new gear, gain new blueprints, learn secrets, and get stronger for the next one. Each level is a different part of a sprawling castle, or a new location entirely. Every area has its own creepy residents, new weapons to find, new traps to avoid, and permanent upgrades you can unlock. Die. You keep those upgrades. To get those permanent upgrades, you spend cells. You rip these glowing cells right out of enemies you defeat. But here's the catch. If you die before banking them at the end of a level, poof, those cells are gone forever. Your gold, gear, and other stuff stick around if you make it to one of those special preservation stations. Forget. You start broke next time. They show your saved progress in a cool way, with filled and empty vials hanging overhead when you start a new run. The enemies. Oh man, there are tons. And they're all creatively unpleasant. Think zombies, creepy archers, hulking samurai dudes way bigger than you, and every kind of nasty critter trying to send your gooey butt right back to the sewer. And it's not just the monsters. The levels want you dead too. Watch out for spikes, flying buzzsaws, spinning spike balls, and all sorts of other deadly surprises. Yeah, it's tough, especially at the start. But once it clicks, get ready to lose hundreds of hours. Seriously addictive. Resident Evil 4. All right, wrapping up with two heavy hitters. The Resident Evil 2 remake or Resident Evil 4. Both are absolute bangers, over 97% positive reviews, proof that Capcom nails remakes when they want to. 3. Sadly didn't hit the same highs, so let's focus on 4. Plus Ada Wong. And let's be real, the modding community's done things with her character model. But I digress. This remake, massive glow up. Levels got redesigned, and the balance. Brutal. Play too well, especially on hardcore, and the game starves you of ammo. You're always one bullet away from panic. Ada's campaign. Way better now. More depth, more memorable. The plot's actually cohesive this time, less what is happening, and more oh god what is happening, boss fights. Harder, smarter, meaner, and gameplay tweaks. The knife isn't just for crates anymore, it's a lifeline. Parry a chainsaw. Yes. Stealth kill ganados. Absolutely. Adds a whole new layer. Plus, side quests, new guns, 4 difficulty levels, achievements, and mercenaries mode. You'll be glued to this for months. Masterpiece. Gorgeous. Tense. And yes, I'm talking about the whole game, not just Ada. That's all for today.